What's up, family? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into some breaking news that's got the whole internet buzzing. Rap mogul, music icon, and business tycoon Sean Diddy Combs has been hit with some serious charges. And of course, Dr. Umar Johnson has some strong thoughts to share. From the allegations to Diddy's controversial past, Dr. Umar didn't hold back, calling out the larger implications behind these charges and how it ties into what he believes is the system's playbook. So if you want the tea on what exactly Dr. Umar had to say and what it could mean for Diddy's future, stay tuned because we're about to break it all down for you. But before we get into it, make sure you smash that like button and hit subscribe if you're ready. It helps the channel grow, and you don't want to miss any of the updates we've got coming your way.
Sean Puffy Combs' federal charges have little, if anything, to do with domestic abuse or pedophilia. His major sex crime federally is he's being accused of transporting women across state lines to engage in sex. What we call prostitution. Not Casey, not the freak-offs, not underage girls, but prostitution. Why am I bringing this up? Because I don't support prostitution either. I do not support men paying for the sugar box. I do not support black women having to sexually exploit their sugar box in order to pay their bills. With that being said, prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth. Prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth. Prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth. It is the sexual trafficking that Sean Puffy Combs is being accused of. Not domestic abuse, not freak-offs, not stomping out Cassie, not engaging in sex with underage women. It is interstate sexual trafficking. That is the charge. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up, peace God, because when I listen to the news, they're not talking about the evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. When I listen to the news, they're not talking about the evidence of Sean Puffy Combs. When I listen to the news, I have yet to hear anybody give me a specific piece of interstate sex trafficking evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it for the low political IQ Negroes. I'm going to say it for the average political IQ Negroes. And I'm going to say it for the high IQ Negroes. I haven't seen or heard a single piece of evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. I ain't read it in the New York Times. I ain't read it in the Philadelphia Inquirer. I ain't heard it on CNN. I ain't seen it on headline news. Where is the evidence that Sean Puffy Combs engaged in interstate sex trafficking? I keep hearing about Cassie when I turn on the news. Why are we hearing about Cassie when Cassie has nothing to do with the federal indictment? I don't think any black man should have 1,000 bottles of baby oil. I don't think any black man needs 1,000 bottles of baby oil. But I haven't seen anywhere in federal law where owning 1,000 bottles of baby oil is a federal crime. Brothers and sisters, are you with me so far? Brothers and sisters, are you with me so far? Do you understand, overstand, and understand what the most requested black scholar in the world is saying right now? Do you understand and overstand and understand what the most requested black scholar in the world is saying right now? Do you understand, overstand, and understand what the premier Pan-Africanist on the planet is saying to you right now? Baby oil is not a federal crime. Stomping out Cassie, he was not charged with a crime. The freak-offs are not crimes. So why do we keep hearing about Cassie? Why do we keep hearing about baby oil? Why do we keep hearing about freak-offs? Where are the federal charges, and why are the charges being sealed? Why did the feds seal the charges against Sean Puffy Combs? I'm going to tell you one reason why the feds sealed the charges against Sean Puffy Combs. One of the biggest reasons they sealed the charges against Sean Puffy Combs is because the evidence is probably weak. The evidence is probably weak. And because the evidence is probably weak that he is guilty of interstate sex trafficking, and because the evidence is probably weak that he is guilty of interstate sex trafficking, they had to seal the charges. They had to hide the charges from you and I. They had to hide the charges from you and I long enough for the public execution to be carried out. The strategy with Sean Puffy Combs, just like the strategy with R. Kelly, just like the strategy with Bill Cosby, just like the strategy with Michael Jackson, is to simply bankrupt them through criminal charges. Are y'all listening? Are y'all listening? The strategy is to bankrupt Puffy Combs in court. Bankrupt him in court. Bankrupt Bill Cosby in court. Bankrupt R. Kelly in court. Bankrupt Michael Jackson in court. They want to bankrupt. They want to bankrupt. They want to bankrupt. So by the time they get out of court, even if they win, O.J. Simpson, even if they beat the charges, O.J. Simpson, even if they beat the charges, O.J. Simpson, you will be so broke that nobody will want to be bothered with you, and you'll never be able to build yourself back up. That's what this is about. Now, what are some possible reasons other than sex? Because we know the United States government don't care about no sex crimes. And this is why when black people start talking to me about some Sean Puffy Combs sex crimes, I look the other direction. If you're talking about sex crimes in the federal government, we ain't got nothing to talk about. Didn't the federal government engage in a 246-year sex crime called slavery against the African race? I'm going to say it again for the Negroes in the back. I'm going to say it again for the Negroes in the front. I'm going to say it again for the Negroes in a minute. Did this government engage in a 246-year sex crime known as slavery? True or false, brothers and sisters? True or false, brothers and sisters? True or false? Did the United States government engage in a 246-year sex crime known as slavery? Yes or no? Yes or no? So if the United States government was never prosecuted, convicted, or held accountable for the 246-year sex crime known as slavery, you want me to support Puffy going to jail because he owned 1,000 bottles of baby oil? Get your ass up out my face. Get your ass up out my face. Get your simping ass out my damn face right now.
But you don't know why they did it at this time. I'm talking about the timing, not just the agenda, the timing. You know why they gave black people Puff Daddy during election season? You know why they gave black people Puff Daddy during election season? The reason they gave you Puff Daddy during election season, the reason they decided to serve up Sean Puffy Combs a few weeks before the election is they want to distract you from the laws that they are passing. They want to distract you from the policies that they are enacting. They want to distract you from the initiatives that they are implementing. This is a distraction. And because they know black people love to see black people disgraced, humiliated, and destroyed. They know black people love to see black people disgraced, humiliated, and destroyed, they said, throw them one of their own. Let's lynch another Negro today to send all the black people over here while we take care of business over here. This is a grand distraction. They always do this when they're planning something really, really big that they don't want black people to pay attention to. They always do this when they're planning something really, really big that they don't want American Negroes or Africans around the world to pay attention to. And we fall for the bait every time. There's nothing wrong with a conversation on Sean Puffy Combs. But when you scroll through black Twitter and you scroll through black Instagram and you scroll through black Facebook and you scroll through black TikTok and all you see is gossip and conversation about one man at a time like this, then you know you are engaged in a grand distraction. Sean Combs is a distraction. And anytime you see something like this, you should ask yourself, what are they trying to distract African people away from? One of the things they want to distract you away from, they want to distract you away from the fact that Kamala Harris and Donald Trump have no agenda for African people. One of the things they want to distract you away from. See, before they gave you Sean Puffy Combs on a silver platter, before they broke the news on Sean Combs, we were asking Kamala, what are you going to do for us? Before they broke the news on Sean Combs, we were asking Donald Trump, what are you going to do for us? September the 16th. He was arrested September the 16th. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks from election. Sean Combs was arrested September the 16th. Exactly 7 weeks from election. Why did they do it now? To stop the black political movement for justice. That's why they arrested Puffy. It has only been, tomorrow will be 7 days. Tomorrow, Puffy would have been arrested for 1 week tomorrow. Puffy would have been arrested for 1 week tomorrow. Sean Puffy Combs, the diddler, would have been arrested. It ain't been a full week yet. It hasn't been a full week, and you emotionally immature Negropeans. It hasn't been a full week yet, and you emotionally immature Negropeans have taken your attention completely off of election 2024. You have taken your attention completely off of the black agenda from 2024, and you have put it on Puff. You have been outsmarted, you have been outmaneuvered, and you have been out-strategized by the white power structure once again. Hugh Hefner had a living freak-off. Hugh Hefner had a living freak-off at the Playboy Mansion. Puff Daddy had intermittent freak-offs. Hugh Hefner had a living freak-off, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nobody said a word. This is nothing but a distraction from the election. This is nothing but a distraction from Kamala Harris's procrastination.
He wants Sean Puffy Combs completely destroyed.
and I think I know who it is. I believe it is Diego. I believe it is the British-based liquor company that Puffy was doing business with. They're one of the biggest liquor companies in the world. They market and sell some of the most popular brands of liquor, including Ciroc. And Diddy had an agreement with them where they would help him market his De Leon tequila brand. And Diddy took issue with Diego because they had described the De Leon tequila liquor, Puffy's brand, they described it to their customer base as if it was an inner city, urban, quote unquote, ghetto, hip hop type of liquor. And Puffy took issue with that because he said, I'm a global icon. I'm a hip hop mogul. Don't limit my product just to black people. And by doing that, you're dissuading white people and non-blacks from buying my liquor. You're cutting my sales low. And I think you're doing it on purpose because you don't want De Leon tequila to outsell all your other European controlled brands. So Puffy accused Diego of racial discrimination in advertising and marketing. Diego got upset with Puff, British-based company. They said, you done already made $1 billion off of us. How dare you sue us and try to make a few more billion off of us? So they tried to get the case thrown out. But the judge allowed the case to proceed.
Okay, now you guys heard all of that, and I'm sure it's no surprise that when Dr. Umar speaks, people listen and they react. His take on Diddy's arrest stirred up some strong opinions across social media. Some are fully backing his views, while others, well, let's just say they had a lot to say in response. We're about to dive into some of those reactions from fans to critics and even a few public to fans and critics. Whether folks are calling it necessary wake-up call or completely disagree with Dr. Umar's stance, conversations has been explosive. Let's check out what they had to say.
At the end of the day, we need to start supporting each other. We need to stop talking down on each other. We need to stop disrespecting each other. And we need, and even if something like Diddy is going on, we need to stand behind, even if he's totally wrong. We need to stand behind that, because who you trying to stand behind? Do you know your history? Though I love my people, I love human beings. If you could respect me, I'm going to respect you. And that's the end of the conversation.
No bunny hopping, though, right? No bunny hopping.
My fiance is not black.
No, don't you say that. Your fiance is what ethnicity?
Does it matter if he's not black to you?
Beat you up,
He's Caucasian.
Okay.
And he's a wonderful person. He's a wonderful human being, and he respects everybody. Okay, he doesn't, believe it or not, a lot of these humbled white people today who are not racist, they're not even on all of that. I really don't believe.
Your fiance has used the N-word before. Probably never around you. He's used the N-word before.
But I'm not gonna say he hasn't, but it's not. He used that term with his like friends and his brothers, right?
Are you comfortable with a Caucasian using the N-word at all?
It's like people are not using that word to degrade you like they did in the early 1900s and later. I mean, some are, the racists will.
So what you're saying is, when Caucasians use the N-word, and let's say N-word queen, when Caucasians use the N-word, now they're using the N-word in a positive way.
No, I'm not saying, I've heard him say it before, and I've heard other white people say it before, and I kind of will just tell them, like, listen.
You heard your fiance use the N-word, and how did you respond?
I told him that it's not good for you. I said, if you use that term outside, you might get knocked the fuck out. And I educate him. We talk about these things, and I educate him. He's not going to understand it from a point of view of black people. He's not black, and he gets called that by his friends.
Freak-offs are not crimes. So why do we keep hearing about Cassie? Why do we keep hearing about baby oil? Why do we keep hearing about freak-offs? Where are the federal charges, and why are the charges being sealed?
I never liked this motherfucker. I never liked him. He's talking about where the evidence. What evidence do you need? I mean, we seen the videos of P. Diddy with Usher, with Justin Bieber. We've seen those little interviews. We've seen other people say things about him. We've seen the Cassidy video. Hell, we seen when he made those motherfuckers go get cheesecake. That was fucked up right there. Like, there's a history of behavior here. That's evidence already. That's evidence already. It shows a type of pattern, and it shows a type of personality of someone that would be, I don't know, arrested for sex trafficking. Like, come on, man. Pay attention to who's out here defending this motherfucker. Who's out here like, oh, you innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, you know, right? In most cases, but this motherfucker's already guilty of shit that we done seen. Come on, man. Like, this can't be serious, man. You can't be serious with this. Y'all like this motherfucker too. And for the record, the evidence is usually sealed during the pre-trial phase, mainly because it could be an ongoing investigation still, which probably more than likely it is. You have confidential sources, informants. You also have witnesses, especially in this case where they're probably high-profile names, so you don't want that out in the public yet. So this is just normal practice. You think he would know that. You know what? He's probably too busy, you know.
Dr. Umar Johnson says if Cassie was a chocolate sister, P. Diddy would not be getting the same backlash. So you had Dr. Umar Johnson speaking on this P. Diddy situation. He's saying P. Diddy's gonna bounce back. He's saying people didn't have the same energy when the whole Kim Porter situation allegedly happened. I gotta disagree with Dr. Umar Johnson. I don't believe that has nothing to do with that, my nigga. You always gotta take it there, right? I can end your argument right now using somebody who was looked at in a higher regard than Diddy. You mean to tell me if that P. Diddy video was Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, and Barack Obama done did that, you want to tell me there would be no backlash? Are you serious? Come on, man. Cut it out, man. I don't know what he's on, but he also went on to basically say that T.D. Jakes was going to get Diddy to be a pastor and baptize him, and Diddy was going to rise out the ashes and be back Diddy. I don't know what he was on. It was a bad take in my opinion. I don't believe that has anything to do with it. I believe people are visual people. When you have a video of something, you know what I'm saying? It makes it look more worse, right? Just like the Ray Rice video back in the day, the running back for the Ravens. He had a video almost like that, and he never played in the NFL again. There were other players who got into similar situations, but there wasn't a video, and I believe some of them, you know, got back in the league. So I don't believe it has nothing to do with that. I believe it doesn't matter if Cassie was a chocolate sister or not. If a video came out like that with Diddy moving like that, he would have got backlash.
It's crazy to see people are shocked that Dr. Umar is defending Diddy, the diddler. But I say it's surprising because after everything you done seen from this dude, now I ain't gonna lie, man. I used to listen to Dr. Umar before he got like super duper popular. I used to listen to him before he talked about the school shit. So before he was just talking, you know, the blackity black Pan-African blah blah blah. But then he started talking about the school, and the school never came. The school never happened. So once that happened, okay, I was like, all right, man, I ain't this dude's low key a joke, man. All right, man. Kind of like a con man, like con man vibes. So, you know, after that happened, you know, I hear a clip here and there, but I ain't really too much listening, man. I ain't listening to what the fuck you talking about. Then I find out this motherfucker got 2 kids, and I think he got multiple baby mamas, and he not married to either one. He started talking about this black queen shit, like, oh, I'm a Pan-African kingpin, blah, blah, blah. Man, nigga, go marry one of your baby moms, man. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, guys, let me wrap this up by saying I completely disagree with Dr. Umar. No, this isn't part of some conspiracy because it's a voting year. Let's just put that to bed right now. Diddy has done horrible things, and he's a horrible man. This isn't some elaborate plan against him, it's accountability, finally catching up with someone who's been getting away with things for far too long. This is to me just another example of a man, a black man at that, minimizing the trafficking and abuse of women, black women specifically, while using his power to do whatever he wanted. Diddy is going down just like R. Kelly because he's been involved in these terrible acts for years and everyone knew about it. And to be honest, Dr. Umar's whole conspiracy theory about it being tied to the election is just absurd to me. No president has ever had a concrete plan for just black folks. And honestly, do you expect them to? I don't. I don't want a president to make policies just for black people or just for white people. I want them to create policies that affect everyone equally. And when that happens, we'll all benefit equally. Again, I've never been a fan of Dr. Umar, and his comments here don't surprise me at all, not one bit. But I want to know your thoughts. Do you agree with him, or do you think, like me, that this is about Diddy's own actions catching up to him? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Your support means the world, and I'll catch you in the next videos. Until next time, toodles.